Good morning, everybody. It is still 8 a.m. Or, excuse me, it is still April 1st. It's actually 8:45 a.m. I just posted a video of how to fill out the 4.1 organizer for you. So if you haven't seen that, please go on Classroom and look for that. I added it to the 4.1 assignment, the Part 1 assignment. That assignment was due this morning at 8 a.m. to fill out the organizer so that I could see it before you did the recording. What I want to do for you on this video is walk through the process of recording this new project. Bob Haberset did it on his, but we don't have keyboards at our disposal, so we've just got, and this is visualizer in visualizer here, we've just got our computers going on here. So I'm going to show you how on your computer to get this done. Okay, so the very first thing that we've got to do is set up our project. Make sure that you've labeled it 4.1. And we're going to start out with the drum track. I'm going to record my drum track for you. And this drum track at 16th notes. And I earlier thought, okay, let's play this out. So I thought that's a pretty decent speed to play this at. So I went over to my favorite BPM counter. This is the all8.com. If you just go to Google and you say BPM counter, you'll probably come up with this one. And I thought of let's turn off notifications. And I thought, what's that tempo? And I started tapping on the BPM counter. And I saw it was about 70 beats per minute. Back over here in Soundtrap, I set my tempo 70 beats per minute. So now when I go to record, I'm going to record at about that same tempo. So bass drum, snare drum, and I'm going to use O for the hi-hat for today. And I'm on the clean white for right now, and I can always, I think Bob added a little reverb to his. That O is really loud. For some reason, the I key, check this out. And now I can't play it because of the visualizer going on here. Let me see if I can make a little space for the visualizer. Let's make this a little smaller. How many cameras can we have going simultaneously? Woo! Let me go smaller yet. Come back over here. Back. Now we can see it. So if the I key is playing U on the instrument, O sounds really loud to me. U sounds loud too. I isn't bad. I'm going to try that and see how that goes. Okay, so let's start recording. Back over here. Ready to record. 1, 2, ready and go. Okay, hit stop, trim my recording back to 5, edit. Since I wrote this with a 16th note groove, I've got to quantize to 16th notes. So once I quantize to 16th notes, then I should open this up, take a look at the piano roll, dig in here, play it, see how it sounds. Wow, nailed it first time. Okay, so got that done. Let's save the project. Okay, that's saved. That's my first track. Now it's time to start working on my bass tracks. So I'm going to come up here, add a new track. I'm going to add guitar and bass. Now I've got to go and change that instrument right away because we're on rock. We had been on bass electric, clean electric. So that's what I want to get set up first. Bass electric, clean electric, and X out of that, and that. Okay, so now got to start working on my bass line here, this F bass line, and being able to play it. So I'm just going to practice this bass line along with my drum groove. And if I can't play it on the keyboard, then I can't record it on the keyboard. So first note is F. That's the V key on your computer keyboard here. G is going to be the B key, and A is going to be the N key. So you've got these three that you're dealing with. So it's pretty easy for the bass line. So let's do a loop here. I'll set the cycle region in Soundtrap so that it's just going to loop through these 5 bars. So remember that's that cycle region you set up at the top of the screen. Okay, and then I can play. On my bass line. Can't I hear my bass line? There we go. Okay, I practiced it, I can play it. Maybe you noticed that one thing I was not able to do, and that was play this octave leap here. So I just played through on F1. As they say in video, I'm going to fix this in post. So this octave leap here, I'm going to play as an F1, and then after I've got it recorded, then I'm just going to drag it up an octave. You'll see what I mean by that. Okay, so let's get this ready to go. Back to the beginning. We're going to record the clean electric. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wait a minute, I did this wrong. I should have moved each one of those up. Well, now that I recorded it all on F, actually this really made it pretty easy because the second measure has to be on G. So I can come in here in Soundtrap, grab the second measure notes. I can just drag this up to G. Well, that didn't move where I wanted it to. Let's open this up a little bit so I get a little more space. There we go. And then the last two are going to be on A. So I'll grab all of those and move those up. 2 white notes. There's G and there's A. Got to make sure that I've got all of this quantized in here. So let's go to the edit button, quantize. I'm going to quantize to 16th notes again. Let's take a look at it. Edit notes. Make sure that everything moved to the right spot. And then I should clean up all of this. Remember how I said in the last video that anytime that I'm playing the same note right after each other, I always like to leave a space. But here in the octave leap, I'm going to go all the way through. So now I'm doing that. So which note would be the octave leap? Boom, 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 boom. I think this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, my 4th note. That would go up there. Okay. So this would go all the way through, and this one would go all the way through to the next note. So it's going to line up. And then I've got my octave leap back here. Okay. I could use the power of the computer actually to help me out right now. Since I've got all of this set up, I actually could delete the rest of this. Click. Copy all of this, put my playhead at 2, paste it in, and then move it up to G. Put my playhead at 3, paste it in, move it up to A, copy that, paste it in, and I've got that. So now this would be my bass line. And can I say I like the rhythm, but it's too high for sounding like a bass guitar. Bass guitars sound lower. I'm going to select all. I did a Command A for select all. That's on a Mac. I think there's a similar select all on a Chromebook. I'm going to drag them all down 1 octave. Start on F0. See if I like this better. Oh yeah, I can tell already I like it better. Okay, I've got everything taken care of except for my leading tone back here. If you remember from my last video, I said, I'm going to put the G here so that it leads back into the F at the beginning. So that would be this very last note here. And in my organizer, I've got a G on the and of 4. So I'm going to use the pencil tool. So I've shown some of you how to do this. If you grab the pencil tool, you can come over and you can click in any note. Then go back and grab the mouse tool, and then you can move it around. So that's A. Oh, I want it to be on G, which is actually lower. And so that should then lead back into this F here at the beginning. Let's start at 4, see if it does. Yeah, it does. All right, let's save that. That's the bass line. That's 2 tracks. Now, the 3rd track is going to be a keyboard track. If I remember right, Bob Habersat used the Rhodes. Let's search for the Rhodes. Rhodes. Okay, so keyboards, pianos, Rhodes. That's what he went for. And then he didn't like the tremolo on it. It's that shaky. That's the tremolo. So let's turn that down. Now that's pretty clean. I think did he turn the drive down too? That's sounding a little more mellow, a little cleaner kind of a sound. Okay, so we've got to be able to play this. And right now you see my keyboard is set up at C3. So I've got to move my keyboard down so that I'm going to, wait a minute, I don't have to move my keyboard down. I can play this wherever I want to. F, A, C. Okay, so here's my first chord. And this is really why I wanted to shoot this video for you. So you see I'm using 3 fingers here. F, A, C. My G chord, everything's just going to move over 1 key on my keyboard. But on the A chord, this finger, and I need to move this over just a little bit more here so you can see. I'm trying to play the question mark, but it's not playing. A, C, E, I've got to go all the way over here to Q. That's a little bit awkward. So I need to practice that. G, and then A. G major, B minor. Okay, if you're really coordinated and you want to do it like that and move with the left hand over here and play the right hand with 2 notes, you can do that too. Okay, so once again, I should practice along with. Let's go back to the beginning. Here's my first note. Let's play. That wasn't too hard. Okay, you might need to practice that more, but it's pretty simple. We want one note that goes all the way through the entire measure. So I'm just going to set that to record right away. Get my notes ready. 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Play it again. Enjoy it. Now, you can hear these gaps and you can see these gaps. So we should go into the piano roll, take care of that. So we're just going to grab all of the notes, make them as long as possible. All the notes, make them as long as possible. All the notes, make them as long as possible. All the notes, make them as long as possible. Last thing that we should really do is we should really quantize. Now, we've quantized everything else in this project to 16th notes, but the notes that we have in the keyboard part are really whole notes. They go the entire measure. That's this up here, 1 out of 1. This is a whole note, this is a half note, a quarter note, an eighth note, a 16th note. So if I quantized a whole notes, everything will start on a whole note. Let's just do that one more time and make sure. Quantize, everything's on a whole note, nothing moved because that was super simple. And let's save, and let's play. Not bad. If you're concerned about how high that part sounds, you can grab all of it. And what I would suggest is grab the bottom note of your first chord. It says F3. If you want to play around with different octaves, you could try dragging it down. Just make sure it's on the same letter as it was before. So this is F2. Let's go back to the beginning. You know, I kind of like that better. The reason why I like that better is because it doesn't sound like melody. It sounds like it's part of the... It sounds like the melody is going to happen over the top of it, and it sounds like it's in the middle of the song to me. So I think I'm going to leave mine right there. Okay, I'm going to save that again. Now, new procedure for handing in projects. I want you to go up to the address. Oh, hold on. Got to, first of all, and I'm going to move this over so you can see the rest of my screen here. You need to go over to the collaboration tool and add me as a collaborator. So you're going to click on invite, and if my name doesn't show up, type Dale, and you should be able to see my name show up. This is the wrong address for me, this one that starts 101. It should start, I forget, but I put it on the in Google Classroom a while back. But you can add both of me and then I'll be sure to get it. Okay, so add me as a collaborator, then go up to your address at the top of the screen, copy that address. Since you've added me as a collaborator, I can grab it in Soundtrap. When you copy the address, I want you to go back to the assignment here in Google Classroom, and I haven't put up the Part 2 assignment, but you'll hand this into the Part 2 assignment. So let's create that right now. Assignment. This is 4.1 chords. What is it actually called? 4.1 Root Position Triads. That's what it's actually called. Root Position Triads. Part 2. Part B. And hand in your 4.1 Soundtrap project here. Should have 3 tracks. Watch the video below. Make sure you've done it correctly. Done it. we go. Let's add, I'll add this video after I'm done with this. But what I would do here when I'm turning in my assignment is I would add a link. And the link, I would paste in the project, your Soundtrap project. So this is pasting it into the assignment right now, just so that you can see the process. But you would find where to add the link, and that way I can also pull your project out of Google Classroom. That should be due by Friday of this week. Let's see, did I set up Relay Online Music Tech? I don't think I set up one of those spreadsheets. So that should be due by Friday of this week. And let's just put that out here. Music Tech Block 1, Block 2. Let's say 100 points, and the due date is going to be Friday, let's say by 10 p.m. Give you all day to get it done. Topic, chords. I'll put a rubric on there later. All right, that is it. If you got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, as Bob says, see you in the shed. Have a good day. Bye.